Good morning. This one is going to be about the two serpents. Yeah, the two serpents. One serpent is the embodiment of temptation, the embodiment of the psychophysical and all of its hindrances. Yeah, the serpent of the psychophysical world, of the world of mass and magnitude. We call that one serpent. The other serpent is more a spiritual, yeah, it's more transcendent one, yes. So these two serpents kind of fight each other off in this cosmic world of possibilities, of manifestation and possibilities. So these mythologies, these metaphysics are present all over the world. I'm just going to read some examples. In ancient India, for instance, it was called Ananta, the world serpent, the swallower in whom all possibilities, whatever latent, and from whom all possibilities of manifestation are extracted. It is an endless cycle, the serpent eating its own tail. In the Edda, it is called Midgard's worm. From serpent to worm, it is reptilian type of thing, yes. Why it is it chosen, you know, why is it chosen this creature? Almost like the mixture of these two, it's almost like a mermaid, half reptilian hybrid, half half human. Also, other creatures of mythology are, manifested out of the mixture of these two. All right, not just the mermaid. You have the cockatrix, the basilisk. You know, so Agni again in ancient India. Agni is the footless and the headless one. He is hiding both his ends. That's why we call it as well a worm, because you can't see his hands or his arms or his head or his nose or his mouth, Prajapati, he is sightless, he is headless, he is recumbent, he is lying flat. Vritra, Kumara, handless and footless. Now, the Vritra is making allusion to the physical, the psychophysical serpent. Agni and Ananta and Midgard's worm is making allusion to the transcendent snake. So we kind of have to make a distinction. Brahma is the transcendent and handless, footless one that came into being. Asura, he is blind, deaf, having no interval, without feet or hands, endless like a necklace, of which the ends come together. This is the transcendent snake. A serpent, a constricting in its coils. Analogy for the year, the 365 days. It is endless because its two ends, winter and spring, are united. You see? What is the beginning? That is the end. He who is the coming forth is also the returning. So it gives you this idea of the infinity sign, the infinity, on a loop, infinity, where constant whole possibilities of manifestation are extracted. This is very important. That's why there's so much diversity in the world. It's because manifestation is extracted, all possibilities. You know, um, in the Greek pantheon, the transcendent snake was called Zeus, father of all gods and men. It is figured by his worshippers as a snake as well. So, whenever in ancient Greece there was a VIP, such as a hero or such, he was called Melikios. Melikios was this, you know, half human, half snake creature. Sometimes also Zeus got that title because it also represented many of his complexes natures. Now let's go to Egypt. The rod of Asclepius is representative of the snake, the transcendent snake, because the snake, the transcendent one, is a symbol of magic healing. Yes, and in the rod of Caduceus, you have the representation of both snakes, the transcendent one and the mortal one. Now, in Egypt, they worshipped the mongoose. Why they worship it? Because it was symbolic of the sacrifice. The mongoose would attack and cut snakes into pieces. That's what the transcendent self does to the physical self. It cuts it into pieces and puts it back together in uterus. That's the sacrifice which everybody, that came to this world, was part of. Yeah. Atum, the sun god, the one and only, the version of the monad for the Egyptians was called Atum. Atum, the sun god, would change himself into a mongoose in order to fight the snake Apophis Seth, the Egyptian serpent, the constant enemy of the sun. This kind of reminds me again of Conan the Barbarian. When I was a child, I used to watch the TV series Conan. Oh man, just the intro was amazing. And the arch enemy of Conan was Seth, the snake people. I can still remember, the final fight when it finally destroyed Seth. So this is kind of, it's funny, how reading metaphysics, and sometimes you can see it in cartoons or TV shows. Maybe that's where they got their inspiration. For the Hebrews, of course, the one who persuaded the mother of all mankind to eat the fruit of the tree is certainly the type of evil and the enemy above all others. The lower, the physical nature, the appetite, the psyche, the snake, the tempter, is talking about the psychophysical, right? The psychophysical seduced Eve, you know, it caused Eve to, go in temptation and eat from the fruit. I mean, it's an analogy, right? The snake kind of whispered at her ears, what you could do with Adam, start giving her ideas, and she got tempted into doing it. So, anyway, that's about it. Yeah, the two snakes. One represents the psychophysical, and the other represents the transcendent. The transcendent, the monad, the endless possibilities of manifestation. Mm. In the previous audio, I talked about the sacrifice, in which one dismembers the other. You know, sometimes it's the psychophysical that dismembers the dragon. Sometimes it's the dragon that dismembers the psychophysical. There's it's a battleground. It's a battleground essentially looking for peace, um, because everything in nature kind of seeks balance. Everything works on pressure mediation. Everything seeks balance, and ultimately, what it's all about is the to seek that moment, that place of inertia, of peace. That's what it's all about. This when the two serpents, come together and fight it off. All right, I think I'm going to shut up. Have a nice day.